So some of us are now looking to upgrade our computer system and we may have an existing display. I have been getting a lot of questions in the comment section and also through my Facebook page about I have this display or I have this BenQ display. I'm looking to get this Mac. Do you think it's going to be compatible with it? And I end up saying yes, it's going to be compatible, but I have more thoughts about that, whether you should get a new Macintosh system right now. So let's find out what my advice is. I'm Art and ArtIsRight. Before we start, subscribe if you're new and hit on the bell icon so you'll be notified every time I upload cool new videos like this. Alright, if you need a new computer, and especially if you're looking at Macintosh, my recommendation is for you to wait for a few months. And here's some of the reason why. Number one, let's start out with just the simple fact that majority of machines right now that they're selling from Apple is still the Intel machine. Apple is going to still build Intel machine, however, they're going to do that less so because their processor is much more power efficient and it also is a much better platform in general moving forward with Apple. So if you wait a few months, we know that in their pipeline, they're going to release new portable devices that are going to be much more powerful than the Intel machine because these M1 processors right now, these are first generation products and we can now see what they're capable of doing. And it's coming head to head on many of the Intel laptops, including the $4,000 one. This is one of the reasons why you may want to wait right now because you're buying that Intel laptop at almost the full price today. It doesn't really do you a lot of benefit when in the next few months, you're going to have a much better machine, much more power efficient machine for that matter, that's going to come out. The other thing too is that we need to look at Apple computer right now, especially with the M1 processor. So if you're looking to get the Intel, like I said, just hold off, wait for the new Apple Silicon to come out. But if you're looking to get the M1 today, the thing is this, depending on what you're doing, I may not advise you to get the M1 right now. Let's take a look at their portable devices first, the MacBook Air, the MacBook Pro, the one that they have, all those 13-inch one. They're very limited in terms of ports and I/O. There's only really two. And as a pro, I always have multiple different devices hooked up to my computer and also one of those ports will have to be used for power as well. So you're going to be limited there in terms of the I/O and what you can do. Some of you may say, well, I can get a dock. Well, yeah, absolutely. But that still limits the option what you can use your machine to do right now. And the best thing that you can do is to wait for a machine that's going to come down the road that will have more I/O ports so that you can use that without having to worry to carry extra dongles or carry extra dock with you to get things done. And not to mention, if you have to hook up your computer to an external display, one port is already used up for the display itself. On a Mac Mini, the story is slightly different because you have a few more ports on the system. You have two USB Type-C, Thunderbolt, you have an HDMI native output on the system, and you have two USB Type-A that are high speed. So that gives you a little bit more room. However, you're still limited on the number of peripherals that you can connect to the system. Obviously, yes, you can connect this to a dock. You can have multiple docks running, but I feel that what we're seeing right now with M1 processors, they're really great consumer machines. If you're just getting a machine that you're using for content consumption, using to do some creative work, for example, if you're just doing light video editing, photo editing, I think that would be great for that. But if you're looking to really push it hard to do pro work, I would just wait for the time being. A few things too that you want to add on to that with the M1 is that there are some display resolution and refresh rate issues that are still happening right now with regards to Big Sur, the M1 itself, and also some of the displays that are out there on the market. And hopefully in the next few months, we will get this issue resolved. So by the time Apple releases a new machine, these won't be an issue anymore. If you're a pro and you need calibration, right now, there's really no way to calibrate the display as it is filming, but solutions are coming and these companies are actively working on a software that will run natively on the M1 machine that will go through the graphic layers and allow you to calibrate the display without any issues. That is coming, but it's not here yet as of today. Not to mention, there are still some glitches and bugs that are in the M1. And the other thing too is that majority of the Pro Suite software, there are some betas out there from Adobe, but the entire suite hasn't necessarily been updated to run natively on the M1 just yet. I know that all the companies are really jumping on board. They're releasing software at a greater pace now to have M1 native support. I'm hoping that by the time Apple releases their Pro machine, that Adobe would have their full suite of software, the full Creative Suite software update and ready to run on M1. So in a few more months, I'm thinking we're going to see a movement in that department. Now, here's the thing. I've told you that you should wait for a few more months until they release the next generation Apple Silicon processor, and that's great. However, if you're in a creative workflow right now and your computer crashed and you need a brand new computer today, or you need to get a new computer today, what are some of my suggestions that I have? One of the best things that I have actually done is to look through Apple Refurbish site, and you can simply just go to Google, type in Apple Refurbish, and it will take you to a link, and you can just click on Apple Certified Refurbished Products. I'll look at the Mac. So for instance, if you're looking at the MacBook Pro, you can type in the year, you can look up the different models that you want to look at. For instance, I want to get maybe like the 16-inch model. And the great thing about this is you're usually saving about 10-15%. So that could be tax money. And the other thing too is the saving that you're using on these refurbished products here can be used by AppleCare Plus warranty, so that you extend the warranty in a machine from 1 year to 3 years. And AppleCare Plus to me is one of the best warranty programs in the computer market, because Apple in general, even though I would say that their overall customer support team or the smarts of the customer support team is really going down, they still take care of their customer fairly well. And there's ways how you can really get to a higher tier support that knows what they're talking about and is willing to help you. So it's still one of the best values out there in support. The other thing too that I've done in the past is that I know sometimes people buy these machines and they go through financial hardship, or they don't need these machines anymore, and they post it on sale locally through either Craigslist, eBay, or Facebook Marketplace or something like that. I have bought a few of the machines through there as well. However, I know what I'm looking in the machine. I know how to inspect it, check the serial number, making sure that it has AppleCare Plus support, so on and so forth. If you're not comfortable with that, buying directly from Apple through their refurbished site is definitely a great deal. One thing to keep in mind about the refurbished site is that if you're looking to buy something, you see the spec that you like, just buy it right away, because these stocks change constantly and they only have a finite amount of each product in stock there at the moment. So I hope that you're able to find this information somewhat helpful. Again, if you can hold off on buying the new machine for the time being, if you can wait, if your machine is still working, even though it's on its last leg, just wait for a few more months. I think that a much more powerful processor is coming with a, much more, I would say, new design as well on their product. So anyway, I hope that you find this helpful. If you have any questions about this, leave them in the comment section below. Give this video a like, subscribe if you're new, hit on the bell to be notified every time we upload cool new contents like this. And until next time, in art we trust.